Hello there, this is Nire from Toolchefs and welcome to this new video for the Stadium series. So in the previous video we rendered with Arnold our shot and we used the Atoms agents, but it could be that maybe you want to add better quality characters to your shots and you might download them maybe from Mixamo, or maybe use Reallusion character creator to create new characters for you. So basically what we're going to do now is we're going to add some characters from one from Mixamo and one from Reallusion character creator, and add them to our shot. So first of all, we need to create one of those characters. So I've just started from a brand new project here in character creator. I'm just gonna add some hair, some clothes as well, so some shoes. This again just a very quick setup, pants, and then we say shirts as well, like these. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this. Now I'm gonna export the FBX. With previous versions of Atoms, you needed to have the character in T-pose, but with new ones, you don't really need that. You can just select current pose here, mesh and motion is fine. Just always remember to enable insta-load and merge materials by type, simply because Atoms doesn't support having multiple materials per geometry. So I'm gonna click export, and this is gonna export my FBX. So I'm gonna call it R woman for R for Reallusion and then woman. Okay, so it's exported. Now we can go in Maya, and the first thing that we want to do in our case is just to make to build the variations for our character. So I'm going to select a variation file. So here is fine. So I'm just gonna say variations, and then I'm gonna call this one variation. So this is gonna be the JSON. Here then you can add an agent type. I'm gonna call it rwoman, which is the same name that I used for the file. And then I'm gonna select that FBX. So I just use rwoman because we have another woman in that shot, another agent type called woman in that shot. So yeah, that's why I called it rwoman. I'm gonna click build. And what this tool does, it will actually import FBX in the Maya scene. Then it will match the pose of the skeleton following whatever Atoms would actually whatever Atoms is expecting to receive from this FBX, and then it will export the materials as Arnold material, because this tool just works with Arnold at the moment. So if you're planning to this is like a great way to actually build a variation quickly, so you can test your renders and so on. If you're planning to modify those materials and make them different, improve them and things like that, you need to follow a process that I'm going to show you in a second. This is going to be both for Reallusion and Mixamo. So I'm just going to show you quickly how to do that as soon as this process is finished. And of course, it takes a bit just because there's quite a few things going on, especially when importing the FBX. The FBX coming from character creator, they can be quite heavy, so it takes a little bit to import them into the scene. And also think about, we are also exporting all those geometries again, and the materials. So yeah, it takes a bit. Okay, so it's finished. So let me show you what I meant before. So let me try to import that FBX. I'm just gonna import the AtomsMaya plugin. So it's already loaded, but if you don't have it loaded, you can just go in the plugin manager, AtomsMaya. It's there. You can just load it. I'm gonna just drag and drop my FBX into my scene here. I'm gonna click import. Let me move this one out of the way. So it's still importing. Okay, now we have the FBX in the scene. So this pose here, if basically you load this one in the Atoms UI, this FBX, and I'm gonna show you later in a second, you notice that if you try to compare the two poses, this one and the one from the Atoms UI, the poses are different. But it's very important that actually whenever you export the variations, these two poses are the same, right? The one that you see in the Atoms UI. Actually, let me show you because it makes more sense. So I'm gonna import the woman like this. Okay, now I'm gonna open that on UI. Or a woman. It takes a bit again because these FBXs are quite heavy. But anyway, the way in which softwares read FBXs can vary, and Maya reads them in some way, Atoms reads them in another way. As you can see here, the pose for the shoulders may be similar, but maybe the legs are quite different. And we really need to match these two poses in order to have, before exporting the variations. So to do that, you just go under Assets, and then it's this UTS matches in joints. I'm gonna select FBX, and you need to tell which character is this, so it's gonna be Reallusion. So it's basically the category, could be Reallusion, other Reallusion, or Mixamo. Click OK, and this will actually match the joints in this scene with the joints that we have inside the FBX, how Atoms reads them. So at this stage, you can change the materials, and then you can export the variations with the variation builder. The only thing that you need to also make sure to do is, like, if you select the skeleton file, which again is going to be this FBX, always add Reallusion at the end like this. And this again because when we read this FBX, we process it in some way, so you need to provide this filter. This is how we call it. If you're using Mixamo, do Mixamo like this. Okay, so this is quite important. Always remember to add this, otherwise it's basically when you're going to export the variations, the meshes are not going to be exported correctly. Okay, so this entire process has been taken care of for you with this tool, right? With the asset Reallusion character creator variation builder. So it's again, we just create very simple materials. We don't do anything complicated. So this is like the workflow that you have to do in case you are planning to change the materials and make them maybe better, or do some changes. Okay, so we're good. We're gonna open again the stadium scene that we used earlier. Now we're back in the scene. Let me hide most of the agent groups. I don't care. I just maybe care about this one. First thing, I'm going to go under Assets, Reallusion character creator importer. I'm going to import a woman. I'm gonna keep the name like that, and it's quite important because that's the same agent type name that we used before we're building the variations. So you have to make sure that those two match if you want to use the variations for this agent type that we're registering at this moment with the importer. So once this is done, I'm gonna go in the Atoms UI. So let's just give it a second. And what we want to do here is we want to first, to make things quicker, just select one other agent type and hide the viewport, because this will make things a bit faster. Then what we need to do is we want to attach a state machine here. I'm gonna say man stadium state machine, and the characterization is already been built for you because we have provided this filter. So basically there's some magic happening under the hood which actually creates the characterization for this agent type here. And because the man is already characterized, as we saw in previous videos, how we can use the animation retargeting, basically we can use the same animation clips on the woman. Okay, so that's I mean on the Reallusion woman. Okay, it's finished now. What we can do now is maybe we can select some agents. So I'm going to Agent Layout Tool, and I'm going to say let's just use the selected agent group percentage. I'm gonna say actually maybe just 10%. Okay, it should be good enough. So we have 10% of agents. We want to set the agent type. So we can go here, Stench Scatter Layout. I'm gonna select that one, and I want to set it to our woman, set value. I'm gonna rewind. Why it's not there? So let me check our woman. Fine. The Atoms UI. Our woman is there. If I have, I know why, sorry. It's because I'm in variation mode and I don't have the variation attached to the agent. So if I go in skin, again here, okay, it's here. So we see we have the the skin. So if I do atoms variation, merge variation JSON, I'm gonna merge the variation that we exported earlier. So now if I go in the variation manager, we should have the previous variation from the atom agents as well as the variation that we have for the Reallusion woman. And now we're gonna go here and I need to, I think was the name of the variation. Let me check. So it's variation manager, yeah. So Reallusion woman, geometry group, it's our woman again. So let me just copy and paste it here. Set value. All right, so then I can go to the variation mode. Okay, now we can see them. Okay, great. So let me clear the selection, and if I go here and we render, we should see now the Reallusion women. Just give it a second while it renders. Okay, now the render has finished, and as you can see here, we have some Reallusion women. So yeah, basically this is how you can add Reallusion characters to your shots. Now let's have a look at how we can add also a Mixamo character to this shot. Okay, so I'm in Mixamo here. What I'm gonna do is basically I've just selected a character. The character is called Remy. You can of course select any character here. What I'm gonna do is just gonna click download here, and I'm going to save it in a folder on disk. So T-pose is fine. And of course you can use any kind of character. So there are actually quite a few that you could use in a stadium shot, like maybe this one. Which one? Maybe this one. Even James here. You know, like some others that you know could actually give some more variation to your stadiums. Okay, so this is finished downloading. So now we can go back in Maya. So we have this shot here. Let me clean the scene first. Let me save. Yes. So I've downloaded the file here. Now what we want to do is we want to again run the variation builder, but this time for Mixamo. In case you are, you know, again changing the material and stuff, make sure always to you know, to run the same workflow that we discussed previously with the Reallusion. So make sure to, so this one is going to be Remy. So make sure to select, you know, sorry, bring in the FBX, then apply the pose that Atoms expects. Then change your materials, run the variation builder with the filter at the end of the skeleton file. Okay, so this is already finished. Great. Let me open again the stadium scene. Okay, now in this scene, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go under Asset, Mixamo Character Importer. I'm gonna select that FBX, Remy. I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay, and first of all, let me add some Remys here in this agent group. So again, I'm going to select maybe 10% of agents. So I see here we selected also some women. Maybe I can remove that one. Sorry, I need to activate agent layout tool. So I'm going to remove that one. There's also that woman there. Let me add that guy and this guy. Okay, I think it's good enough anyway for me. Now let me go under my scatter layout, select that and say I want this to be Remy, set value. It disappeared again because we don't have the variation set up yet. I'm gonna go to skin. And as you can see here, we have a problem because Remy is quite big. It's actually probably double the scale than the other character. So let's go in the Atoms UI and we can change the scale of Remy. So the scale multiplier could be maybe 0.5, register. And also let me also add the state machine here. So the manlock state machine should be okay. Can rewind now. Okay, much better. Actually, sorry, not the main local state machine, but the main stadium state machine is the one that we want. Okay, rewind. So you might see some weird deformations here, and this is because how, again, Atoms reads the weights from the FBX, also we don't support, as you remember, more than 3 skin weights per bone on each, sorry, per vertex on each mesh. So you might see weird deformations, but I think that if we applied the merge variation JSON, and let me apply the variation JSON for Remy, and now if we go in the variations here, I can say variation name, and I think this is gonna call Remy as well, so that's that. And I'm gonna go to variations. I think now the deformation should be better. And this is because how Maya imports them, you know, they're in a, yeah, you see here, actually, they're already better. So if now I render this scene, we should see also Remy. So as you can see here, Remy is in the shot alongside with the other Reallusion woman that we added earlier. And as you can see here, the render looks quite nice. So we didn't really have to touch the materials. So if you are looking from quite far, these materials could be good enough for you already. So I hope this video was useful and that you enjoyed it. And thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.